welcome everybody. And forgive me in my chaos brain. I'm just going to use that. I have a chaos brain with this evacuation stuff and the fires going on outside my door. So I didn't print off the agenda for tonight. But first, let me say welcome and thanks for everybody for being here. And please excuse me if I get a little scattered. And we will try to make this as smooth as possible. And if I just disappear, then you'll understand why. Okay.
Jamie, do you want me to put the agenda up and share it on screen?
Yeah, go ahead, Giselle. Thank you.
Okay.
Before you do that, though, I just could go around and do introductions, Giselle.
Okay.
So don't do it quite yet. So
Okay.
my name is Jamie Tarn. I'm the president of the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County. And Greg?
Manchester West volunteer.
Glenn? You're muted.
Hello, hi, I'm
Yeah.
Glenn from Horse Creek. I'm on the McKinney Fire LTRG, and I'm on the Fire Safe Council for Siskiyou County.
Thank you. And Ruby?
Hi, I'm Ruby. I'm Giselle Nova's assistant.
Welcome, Ruby.
Welcome.
Yvonne?
Yvonne Ray with the Klamath River Fire Safe Council. And glad to be here.
Josh?
Hello, everyone. My name is Josh Bean. I work for Community Organized Relief Effort alongside the Fire Safe Council as the program manager for the Community Wildfire Defense Grant.
Thanks. Jennifer?
Can you hear me okay? This is Jennifer Womack. I'm the Planning and Implementation Manager on the Shasta McLeod Management Unit on the Shasta Trinity National Forest.
Great. Welcome aboard. And make quick.
Hey, that might be me. Michael Henson, work for the Mid-Klamath Watershed Council, based out of Happy Camp in the Fire Forestry Program. And I'm speaking from Jody Pixley's favorite guest cottage up Elk Creek. This is the first time I've actually been able to take one of these calls from home as opposed to being late night in town. So I'm super stoked to be here. Thanks, everyone.
Well, it looks very nice from this perspective. Tom with Caltrans?
I had slow response. Caltrans. I have 7 counties I work through in the New York State. I'm the
Tom, you were a little broken for me here in Elk Creek, at least.
Yeah, for me too. It's Tom March from Caltrans.
Okay.
He's the North California rep.
So is this better?
A little bit, but you're still broken.
Is that better?
Yes, now.
Okay, I think my broadband is a little bad, but Tom March, landscapes, those for Caltrans.
Oh, okay, Nina?
Hi, everybody. Nina Knierim here from CORE, California Area Manager over Climate Resilience and Disaster Preparedness. Also working with Josh Bean and the Fire Safe Council on the Community Wildfire Defense Grant.
Thanks, Nina. Nice to see you. Jody?
Yeah, hi, this is Joseph Hott from Black Mountain Fire. And I just want to say, Jamie, I feel what you're feeling. We were close right near the bogus fire too. So I feel what you're feeling.
Yep. Thanks, Joe. All right, Jody Pixley.
Hi, thank you. I'm Jody Pixley. I'm the Western Klamath Restoration Partnership Coordinator. My position's hosted by the Mid-Klamath Watershed Council out of the Orleans office. So
not where Mike Hentz is, but nearby. Nice to be here today.
Great. Thank you for being here. Mr. J.
Good evening. I'm Jay Perkins. I'm an interested and curious citizen and have had roles in both the county-wide CWPP as well as the Wairika area CWPP.
Okay, thank you. And the next one is, it says Wairika iPad. I'm not sure who that is.
They're gonna need to unmute.
Yeah, and you're muted. If you know who you are, Wairika iPad 2. All right, we'll go on to Allison Blair.
I think she's having trouble getting on.
Oh, that's right. And you said that earlier. Okay, Carolyn.
Yeah, hi folks. Sorry I don't have any camera. Carolyn Napper with the Fire Safe Council Board and also working with the Shasta Valley RCD.
Thanks, Carolyn. Brian.
Hi, everybody. Brian Murphy. I'm the fuels planner out of McLeod for the Shasta Trinity National Forest.
And you're here with us tonight. Good job. Denise. Ms. Edgar, are you with us? Okay, we'll come back to Denise. Julie.
Julie Titus. I've been working to help, I guess you just pretty much proactively trying to help communities for years here. And at Wildland Fire Fuels Specialist consulting type work. And the CWPPs is another, along with Jay and a team, Proactive Wildland Resources. Small team of us working to just do what we can here to help in fire protection work proactively.
Julie, we treat her as an ad hoc board member. She won't commit to us, but she helps us a lot.
Been thinking about you, Jamie. I'm fingers crossed for your area over there, man. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet.
Marlene.
Hi, I'm Marlene Ludlow. And I'm just a concerned citizen who I just got to say, I am so impressed with all of you and all the firefighters and everything that's been going on. I don't think outsiders of the, of this group realize what's put into this to fight the fires, to work on all this together. This just, it overwhelms me. It so impresses me, everything that you all do and that the firefighters do. And let me say that somebody on one of the platforms was bitching about why the fire wasn't out. And I'll tell you, I went berserk. I said, are you crazy? Why don't you get out there and you do it then in 100-degree weather? And you think it should all be contained at this point? So I'm your big fan here. I just think you're all amazing. So that's all. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Marlene. And you're not alone in your response to those comments. I won't say what I say in my head to them, and it takes everything I've got in willpower not to respond to them. So I just keep moving on.
Well, I don't want to be in Facebook jail, or I'd be saying a lot more.
Exactly.
Just a little bit on Marlene. She's more than a concerned citizen. She's helped the Mount Shasta Area Fire Safe Council and the Eddie Project. She's been very active and proactive in our community. So she just doesn't sit on her hands.
I try.
Thank you. Jay Flan. I don't know that. I don't know who that is at this point. Patty Grantham.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Patty Grantham, coordinator with the Siskiyou Prescribed Bar Association, and I can attest that nobody's more curious than Jay.
And then Madeline.
Madeline Lodgy, concerned Fort Valley resident. And in the past year, I've been trying to organize subdivision neighbors into seeing what their interest is in doing fuels reduction projects. So that's really hard. Anyway, hoping there's going to be fuels other than blackened ones to deal with after this.
Yeah. Thanks, Madeline. Nancy.
Hey, Patty, we're on the same meeting again. Woohoo! Nancy Ogren, Siskiyou County Supervisor, District 4. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Nice to have you here, Nancy. And then I have Anne's iPhone.
Annie Barber with United Policyholders.
Oh.
Just sitting in to see if I can help at all.
Oh, great. Great to have you back. Thanks.
Thank you.
And Carol?
She's trying to connect.
Okay. All right. Sorry if I skipped anybody or you couldn't respond. The only thing I ask if when we get into any discussions that you turn on your camera if you can, so we can see the person speaking, and then we will get on with our agenda.
Did we get Denise Edgar? Is she available?
Denise didn't respond yet.
Got it.
Okay. She might respond when it comes up to her turn. So, Giselle, if you can put that up, thank you. Okay, so we did the welcome and meeting purpose. Our meeting purpose is our monthly meeting to inform our cooperators and interested citizens on what we're doing, and introductions and announcements. And here's our agenda below, and there will be a lot of agency type people not here tonight. So the Klamath River Basin Wildfire Crisis Strategy Landscape Update. I don't believe, unless Denise can give us one, we haven't anybody else from the Klamath on tonight. The next one is the Community Wildfire Defense Grant update. So I can give you an update with that, with the input from Giselle and Josh on the work we've been doing. The first thing I'd like to share with that is we developed our phases for this Community Wildfire Defense Grant. And Giselle, if you want to.
I'll stop and you start.
Yeah.
Stop sharing. Okay, there you go.
Okay, let's see if I can do this. And I think this is it. Hold, shift up to, no, I don't, okay, share. Sorry, guys. There we go. So this is our Community Wildfire Defense Grant. We will have this on our website. And this is just this is information to everyone, cooperators and the public, to let them know what we're doing with the grant, what stage we are in, and what stage we have for the future. So the purpose of this document is to inform residents of the CWDG project phases within the county. Sharing these phases will equip residents with potential milestones and expectations for their community. And it aims to prepare, educate, and empower low-income and vulnerable communities of Siskiyou County against the threat of wildfires. The efforts include public outreach, education, wildfire mitigation tactics, defensible space assessments, implementation of defensible space on 500 homes, and fuels reduction along roadsides to improve entry and egress for emergency personnel. This project will be in effect until July 2028. So I don't think that's new to anybody. This is the grant we got, and it's taken us this amount of time to get it up and working and running. And we are actually in the process of it working. So phase one is our outreach and education. And that's where we just let everybody know what we're doing and what home assessments are about, and to get people signed up for that process. And then phase 2 is to actually implement the home assessments using the Fireside program, which is a software, a very intense software program that you go around with an iPad and do the full home assessment. And it's more than just a checklist. It is a program, and in end result, it will give a resident report and give us the information on what the assessment we've done. And I will say here that the information doesn't go to anybody else. It does not go to the county building department. It does not go to CAL FIRE. It does not go to the federal government. That it stays with the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County and the resident report. And for us, it's still in a format, even Fireside can't see all the specifics. So it's very well protected. I know that's going to be a big concern for homeowners, that this information, but they can use this then to do defensible space and home hardening around their homes. And then if they choose to use it to educate their insurance company to show what they've done and where they sit under this program. And it's also to educate homeowners that make sure they're signed up for the Project Genesis and Ready Siskiyou alerts as well. Let me see, phase 3 then is the defensible space selection and implementation, where we complete the defensible space work on the 500 homes in prioritized communities in Siskiyou County, obtain the landowner agreements. We're not enforcement. We will not be pushing ourselves onto private property unless we're allowed on and asked to be on. And then we will utilize that program and recommendation to complete the contractor's scope of work. And then phase 4 is roadside fuels reduction, where we work to make sure our ingress and egress are safe for firefighters and residents alike, for both during emergencies and so they can get in to do the work. So that's where our phases are at. And like I said, we're just rolling this out tonight, and it'll be on our website, and we will keep showing this to the public. Do I have any questions or comments or any input at all on this? I'd be happy to take it. Or you can put it in the chat as well if you'd like.
Jamie, amazing project. This is Mike Hintz out of Happy Camp. If some of those selected properties are around the Happy Camp area, you know, Mickwick does have an amazing industrial chipper that we were able to have delivered last year that we're using. So if for some reason we could be of help, especially along the roadside, ingress egress side of the project, but keep us posted, Jamie, if we could be of assistance. But amazing work to get this together.
That would go ahead, Giselle.
Yeah, yes, Michael, as we're hire our contractors, will be putting out requests for proposals in your area. We're hopeful to get contractors familiar with the areas that they're working in. And so, yeah, if they need a chipper, it would be awesome. Keep that in mind. And if you have a local contractor that's totally qualified, make sure they're on the list when we get there. So.
Yeah, if we can work with our home assessments and then work with you, and you can go into those areas and do chipping, I mean, that would be all absolutely wonderful if we can combine that. So yeah, absolutely, let's work together.
Thank you, Mike, for providing that. It's awesome.
Thanks, you guys.
And I didn't give a chance that Josh or Giselle or anybody else wanted to, Glenn wanted to input on these phases. We just agreed from the board to put them out as of yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. So do you guys have any more to say?
Well, I was just thinking, you know, that we're going to mix it up a little bit. We'll we'll do this per area. We're not going to just get all of the outreach done and then do the next phase, but we're going to mix it up and do phases in different areas at different times to try to keep everything rolling. So
Yes. Thanks, Giselle. We might add that to that as an addendum. It's
Yeah,
not
we're
all-
remaining really flexible with the phases, especially if we recognize that roadside mitigation in some communities. If we recognize it earlier than doing the defensible space on homes. So we're staying flexible.
absolutely.
Okay, because we're screen sharing, I can't see if anybody else has their hand up or anything.
There is a question from Yvonne. She's asking how residents sign up for home assessments.
Okay,
To answer
Josh?
that, to answer that, so far it's been at events that we've been doing outreach and education at. I will gladly put my contact information in the chat for anybody to contact me, and I could add you to the list. We do have a website that is up and coming where we're hoping to have quick links on there for residents to also gain access to sign up through that. But if anybody's interested or wants more information, please reach out.
And they can also always just, look up Fire Safe Council Siskiyou County website and get the phone number and email off there. Can always tell people that offhand if you're in conversation and don't have Josh's email handy, just tell them to look up Fire Safe Council Siskiyou County.
Okay.
So we're developing a application and a homeowner release. It's not ready to put on the website, but as soon as it is, you can access that, fill it out, and submit it on the website. We're working on getting all of our tech finalized. Be patient, but we're almost there.
All right, I'm gonna stop screen sharing now. So I just want to see, okay, there's Denise. If we had any other chat. Okay, so I'm just trying to catch up with that. So speak up if anybody has anything else.
Yeah, there is another question
Okay,
by
thanks.
Madeline. There's two from Madeline. The first is, how are homes selected? For home assessments, Madeline, it's anybody and everybody we'll give an assessment to if they're within Siskiyou County. But we're selecting homes for defensible space based on vulnerability, income, and ability to do the work. Here in Siskiyou County, we do have a lot of senior citizens that aren't able to perform this work. So we're trying to select those individuals who are vulnerable.
So I'll go ahead and add to that. Is Patty asked if, did you say this plan is on the Forest FSC website? If it's not yet today, it will be very soon. And Julie's question is, were we able to successfully complete and utilize the prioritization matrix tool? And the answer to that is yes. We worked on that. Julie Titus came to us with a matrix tool that she developed, and we utilized that, and we looked at all kinds of things throughout the county. We looked at economics, we looked at distance to fire stations, to resources. We looked at if there'd been fuel reduction projects done in that area. We looked at if there's been they were within a recent fire scar in the last 5 years. We looked at multiple items to compare different communities. And so much of Siskiyou County is similar in that regard, is because we're all under a high zone for fire vulnerability. Hence, the Shelley fire is showing that into Scott Valley. So we had to go pretty deep to find ways to prioritize and to make this objective and not subjective as much as we possibly could. And our matrix, it will be out in the next week or so. And we just didn't feel that tonight was the best night to roll it out. But you should see it, and we will have it, the finalized matrix, up on our website when we roll it out. And we will also send out email confirmation to let everybody know that it's there. And we have, we'll be selecting the top 3 communities where we will start our work. And then from there, we will do more outreach and education and try to get as many homeowners in those communities signed up and focus our work there. But in the meantime, Josh is taking list of any homeowners in the county who are willing to have this done as well. We just didn't want a shotgun approach. We wanted to focus in certain communities. So the more home assessments and the more work is done as a group, it's more effective. And yes, thank you, Julie. It was an amazing tool. It really helped us get to an end product. So Yvonne asked any flyers available for educating residents about the program. Josh and Diane have been working on that. I'll let Josh take that one. And
Yeah,
Chris.
Yvonne, I could get you some like one-pagers about the grant, its program, out to you at Klamath River.
Perfect. Thank you. We can coordinate. I'll give you, I think you have my contact information.
I do. And
Yeah.
I will also be out there on the 20th, I believe.
That's right. The pavilion. Okay, great. See you then.
Yeah. I'll bring
Oh,
this.
are you all going out? Okay, I was gonna say I'm heading out to Happy Camp for the youth fire education event with Michael Hens next Thursday, the 18th. So I could always drop some off as well, but it sounds like you're going a couple days after that, Josh.
We'll figure it out.
But, okay, next question. So Madeline, how our homes are selected, it's based on at this point as volunteer. Like I said, we're just trying to get as many homes in an area as absolutely possible. But we are going after volunteers. We're not an enforcement agency, so we are not going to push ourselves onto private property and force people to get this done. So when we go into one community, we're going to do a huge push to get as many people to understand what we're about, and hopefully they'll sign up. And no, they don't have to go, the communities doesn't have to go through phase 1 to get to phase 3. But it's like Josh said, and Giselle said, it's an ongoing process. So when we have a prioritized community, we will push it at that community and go to, you know, the fire stations and the meetings and fire safe council meetings and the communities and all of that to do the education.
That's 6 o'clock.
Okay, and we'll come back to Denise and then, okay, I think we answered all those questions. Do I have any other questions before we move on to the next thing on our agenda? Oh, I'm sorry. Again, I apologize for being a little chaotic tonight. I'm still thinking about what's out my window here. And that is the Fireside program, the software program that we are using for the home assessments. We've done the training program. Josh and I went out and got a volunteer to let us on their property and tested it out. And now he is in the process of doing some testing on other folks. He actually went out to Fort Jones today and was able to do another test. And then after the he does the report, then he syncs it up, and then we get a resident report. And we want to do a number of these to make sure there's no glitches. And so these are not in prioritized communities at this point. These are people who have signed up through Kristen and Diane and Josh's outreach so far. And so we are using the program as of today. So I can say that, and we're working on that. Any questions on the Fireside? And it's fireside.com if you want to look at that. Okay, do I have any questions? Have chat out. Let me see. All right. Okay, so now we'll move on and then I can stop talking. So then Forest Service update. We'll start with Denise. I think you're here with us now, Denise.
I am here finally, but I am here as a community member, not as a Forest Service employee tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Then I can move on. If you don't want to represent, Denise, that's fine. Okay, then let me see. I'm sorry. I know we had the Mount Shasta. McLeod. Where are you? Is it Brian? Brian.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. You've
Hi.
got me and Jen. Jen was here too, so I guess
That's
I'll
right.
just go first. I've got to be quick, and then I'll hand it off to Jen. But my update is basically, I mean, what we all know: very high fire danger out there. After this hot streak, no end in sight. You know, maybe a slight break in the heat Saturday, Sunday, but ERCs, which is energy release component, and the burning index are two measures we use. They're both in the 97th to the 99th percentile on a lot of the Northwest mountains. So unfortunately, around some of the fires in Mount Shasta and that area. So very high fire danger. The ERC may actually be breaking records in both how early in the season we're seeing these highs and also, possible max ERCs ever recorded. So definitely high fire danger out there. No fires on the Shmoo. We're doing pretty good. I think it's just too darn hot for people to be out there doing dumb things, starting fires. I hope so. Knock on wood. We're staffed up and we have covered resources for additional protection here. And we're chugging away with some of our projects and contracts. We're masticating out in McBride for burn prep. We're doing some burn prep up near Snowman Summit. And we've got a contract mastication. The iZone contract is operating on the east side of the city of Mount Shasta, and some other stuff is coming on later. So we are working with Giselle to extend the footprint of the South Old Stage project. Hopefully we can get something put together with Joe's signature when he returns. He's on a little bit of a vacation. He wanted to be here tonight, but he's doing some other stuff. So that's it for my update, unless anyone has any questions. And if not, I guess I'll just go straight to Jen.
Thank you, Brian. Jen, you're on.
So I don't have any updates. I'm more here to support Brian and his workload. As Brian said, Joe's on leave, so I'm here as acting for him. Happy to see the Shasta Valley RCD and the Mount Shasta Bioregional Ecology Center on your action items. That was going to be the only tidbit I had. I'm just hearing a lot from the various groups, different grant money for doing fuel reduction. And I know Carolyn and I just met Monday. We were on a field trip as part of Shasta Valley RCD in this field workshop that's going to be in the works that you folks will hear more about. But we talked a lot about that with needing to get some more collaboration to improve the public outreach of a lot of these grant opportunities for fuel reduction work. So that's all I've got.
Jamie, I did get a text from Jen Erickson. It's not, she just said she's away visiting family.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of folks that will be unavailable because of the Shelley fire. One thing that you can share is that we are in fire restrictions, no campfires except for in developed campgrounds. Campfires are also not permitted in the wilderness. Apologies. Okay, anyway, and she's thinking of you folks in the Shelley fire, near the Shelley fire. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Giselle. And thank you, Jen and Brian, for your update.
I had a quick question, Jamie, for Brian. On the on your fuel work, are you guys at the 1 o'clock shutdown with the ERCs like that or anything, or do you guys are still powering through?
Good question, Julie. I'm not sure what the pals were today. I actually had today off to do daddy daycare, but we're definitely getting into that area where it's going to be restricted at 1. I'm sorry, I can't tell you the PAL level today. Our agency machines are getting out in the woods and getting their work done and then shutting down by 1 just out of precautions. But as far as actual PAL and what the contractors are required to do, I'd have to look it up.
Thanks, just was curious, that's all.
And I'm sorry, what was that? You had a day off, Brian? Okay.
Yeah, it turns out that the kids take priority over everything when grandma is on vacation.
Well, I'm glad you're taking care of home. Okay, we'll move on. I didn't see anybody from CAL FIRE here tonight, unless I'm wrong. And but we did have Caltrans here. He's still on.
Is my audio working?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll keep my video off. Something's wrong with my broadband, I guess.
Okay.
So Tom March, Caltrans landscape specialist. So we're working with Giselle and Fire Safe Council and CAL FIRE to approve our environmental for the I-5 corridor from Dunsmuir border, Siskiyou border up to Edgewood. And we do have a contractor lined up. We're actually working with them in Tehama County right now. It's been really difficult with this weather, as everyone knows, down there. But the work is progressing. We do have construction in the same area, so we're playing hopscotch and planning to work from Edgewood southbound when environmental conditions are appropriate. Right now, there's just way too much construction, traffic, and high risk, and we're just not interested in pushing our luck at this time. Brian, I sent you a chat. I do want to chat with you about Bartle. Carolyn, before she retired, that was a high priority, and we do have some new hires with environmental capabilities to try to capture that for future projects. So we're looking at that. Made it up through today, actually, on 97, just assessing our maintenance forces, what they have done before fire season with our mastication, and trying to enhance that more with our Caltrans forces. And what else are we doing? That is, and then our future contracts, we're looking at, right now we have the Siskiyou 5 corridor in contract to hopefully be accomplished by June of 2025, excluding the construction overlap. I can't get in there, maybe. We'll see. But our future contract will be south of Dunsmuir. So it does affect Siskiyou County, and we're looking at maximizing that I-5 corridor in Shasta up to Siskiyou. So that's my update. So any questions or comments?
No, I understand perfectly with all the extra traffic and the heat, Tom. I understand what you were saying. Today and yesterday in Scott Valley on Highway 3, it felt like it was I-5 corridor. So it's a tough one out there right now. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Shasta Valley RCD update. Patty, are you giving that to us tonight?
I think Carolyn Napper is going to handle it.
Oh, okay. Carolyn.
Okay, thank you folks for being patient. Yeah, so a couple of updates. Working with the Shasta Valley RCD and closely with the Fire Safe Council, we have the West Mount Shasta Defensible Fuels Program, where we're trying to create defensible space in and around homes. So there are about 100 homes that we have funding for. We have the initial contract out on the first 8. And so work should be starting in the next couple weeks on that. We are still accepting sign-ups, and similar to what Jamie and Josh were saying about the evaluation, basically what you do is you go on the Shasta Valley RCD website, you sign up, register, we come out, do an evaluation, and tell you what you need to do to have that defensible space around your home, and then we're lining up contractors. So very similar programs there. And that West Mount Shasta area, if folks are wondering where that is, it's really west of Interstate 5 from Azalea up to the Sacramento watershed boundary. So a little bit above where Dietz goes across. So if you're interested, look at that website. The other thing, there are several projects that the RCD is involved in, but we are currently working on a grant for defensible space there at in Dunsmuir, hopefully treating up to 500 homes. And right now we're kind of back and forth with submitting the grant, getting comments back, responding to those. So it's a little bit back and forth, but we hope that this will be a program that will be available to reduce fuels in and around the homes within the next year. So look for more on that. So those are some of the 2 bigger projects. So that's all I have for tonight, Jamie. Thanks very much.
Great. Yeah, it's great information, Carolyn, and makes a good point that CWDG grant is certainly not the only one going on in the county. We have quite a bit of other grants and other programs going on in lots of different communities. Okay, I don't think Christian is with us tonight.
Oh, Jamie, I was just gonna
go ahead.
confirm that the project that the RTD is doing in Dunsmuir is also home hardening in addition to defensible space. Is that right, Carolyn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much for bringing that up. Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Yeah, because we've been getting Dunsmuir residents at our booths at outreach events, and
Right.
so that's what I've been telling them. So I want to make sure I was giving the right
Yes.
information.
Yeah.
And then we'll get all the Dunsmuir residents that we've gotten signed up on our list out to you guys, so that you can get in
Right.
touch with them.
And like Jamie said, I think Siskiyou County has, a lot of funds coming into it. We're looking at really doing everything we can, whether it's, Forest Service, Caltrans, the RCD, the Fire Safe Council, really all trying to work in concert with each other. So thanks.
Carolyn, I had a question about the fuels reduction on the McKinney Fire residents that burned. I had some contact and referred some people to that program. Do you have any update on that?
Unfortunately, Yvonne, I don't. I'm not familiar with that. I don't know if Patty does. Otherwise, we can if you put your question in the chat, we can ask Dan about that tomorrow.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, Giselle, if you want to, you can stop sharing the screen. I've got finally figured out I can get the agenda up. So let me see then. Okay, we can move on to Orcal RC&D. I didn't see anybody here for them. If I skip you, let me know. Patty, are you here for the Prescribed Burn Association?
That's me.
Okay.
So I mentioned in an earlier meeting that I was pretty excited that in January we're going to be hosting together with Cal Poly offering the Prescribed Fire California Burn Boss course in the middle of January here in Wairika. So that's all confirmed. We're moving ahead with that. I can share more information about that a little bit later, but some training that just came on the docket for local residents is it looks like we're gonna host with Cal Poly, we're gonna host a training for residents in burn planning your burn on your property. So, I'm gonna go through the permits and plans and all that good stuff, kind of where to start in the great maze of fuels reduction, and burning for the normal citizen. So I think that we're gonna be, Cal Poly was pushing us pretty hard to do something in September. I hate being right about this stuff. I told them a couple weeks ago, I said, I just don't got a feel for this fire season. If there's a lot of smoke in the air, we're just not going to get much participation, at that time. And darned if I wasn't right. And so I think that the first offering probably is going to be in October, maybe late September. But again, I'll be sharing that with everybody. Thanks.
Great. Patty, was that Cal Poly Humboldt or Cal Poly other?
That's a great question, and I'll be completely honest with you, and that is I have a heck of a time sometimes with the scorecard.
Yeah.
In terms of these different agencies, and there's cooperative extension, there's Cal Poly, and so I think it's the I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's the Cal Poly system. I think it's the greater Cal Poly. It's not like one of those places.
Okay, thank you. And Kristen, you had your hand up?
Oh, sorry, that was from my question for Carolyn. I forgot to take it down.
Oh, it's okay. Okay, thanks, Patty. Then we had a note from the Bioregional Ecology Center on the agenda, stating that they couldn't be here tonight. At least Giselle had that.
Yeah, that's what Nick sent an email saying he plans to attend these meetings in the future, but he had another obligation. And he just wanted Nick Jocelyn is the Forest Watershed Watch and Community Fire Resilience Program Manager, new to the Bioregional, just so y'all know.
Okay. And I didn't mean to skip over Scott River Watershed Council, but I didn't see anybody from there unless I missed them. Sierra Nevada Conservancy. Do we have anybody from there? Okay. Siskiyou County OES update. Now they're busy. They're a little busy today. Nancy, are you still with us, Nancy? Did we lose? We lost Nancy, unfortunately, tonight.
No,
Oh,
I'm here.
Okay, there you are, Nancy.
I'm trying to get my camera to work.
Oh,
you probably there. I'm not on your not on my screen. I must be on your screen.
You are.
Okay. Yeah, I've been a little bit busy too. I got back from a 3-week vacation to fires, of course. It never fails. And I'm still a little jet lagged, so you'll have to excuse me. So our EOC is open and running 24/7 while these fires are raging. I've been involved in some of the cooperators meetings over in Scott Valley and trying to keep track of all this stuff. So yeah, all of our, of course, emergency people are busy. So I'll try to, I'm not going to even try to catch you up on the fires. That's what everybody else's jobs are. Shelley Fire, Bogus Fire, evacuation centers are open. And I just want to welcome our new Klamath National Forest official supervisor, Chris Christopherson, who was officially crowned at the beginning of the week. He notified us at our Board of Supervisors meeting on Tuesday that he was no longer interim, that he's official, and we're really lucky to have him. Other than that, I'm just trying to play catch up after being gone. I got to go to Africa, so I was gone for 3
Oh,
weeks.
wow, nice. Lucky you,
yeah.
man.
I am. And now I'm just playing catch up. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, and yeah, Chris has had a quite a welcome week being the new forest supervisor.
Yeah, talk about trial by fire, huh?
Yeah, that's a heck of a way to come into the Klamath, but as many people on here can relate, that's the Klamath for you.
Yeah.
Okay, Red Cross, do we have anybody? Joe's on, didn't see him. Pacific Power, they're probably quite busy. NRCS, Air Quality, Siskiyou County, Sheriff's Update, CHP Update, all quite busy right now. Stevens, do we have anything, Giselle?
No new news on the Stevens grant opportunities unless either Brian or somebody from the Klamath has any information. I don't.
Okay. And on the local Fire Safe Council updates, I'll just go through them quickly. Black Mountain.
Yeah, hi everybody. This is Joseph Hott from Black Mountain. Everybody can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a couple updates I wanted to bring to everybody's attention. First of all, Jamie, I know you've been busy with this meeting. I have our scanner on, and due to your guys' fire, all aircraft have been canceled today due to heavy smoke. So I just want to give you that quick update for you for looking out your window due to heavy smoke. Other than that, our fire out here on Bogus Creek is up to 35% contained, 411 acres. Copco Lake Fire Department was coming down here during the event and filling from my place to get water supply. And other than that, I wanted to bring up a big topic that me and Christian talked about at our last Upreach booth setup at the Gold Rush Days, about different set of tools that I feel like we should pass along. We all know that we watch duty a lot, but like we know that OES, CAL FIRE, and Forest Service are all busy. I use everybody can use it. It's called the Scanner app. Any app, phone or smartphone or laptop computers can use this app. You can actually listen to the fire crews, and they give you well updated information quicker than Watch Duty can. You hear it before Watch Duty even gets updated, and it keeps you well informed. Plus, Facebook has a site called Siskiyou County Fire on Facebook. Her name is, I believe, Karen, and she is very well at keeping update. We all know that with our evacuation zones, people are still having a very difficult time on knowing their zones and where evacuation centers are being set up and all that kind of deal. I think we need to really keep pushing that outreach to our booth setups on really pushing that information out. And using this new scanner app, you can hear that stuff really well. Like I said, before it even hits Watch Duty and all those apps. And other than that, all my work that I've been working with weed eating, mowing, trimming trees, I've came to a stop, especially with all this heat wave we're getting. I have like 3 to 4 customers I've been helping over in the valley on your guys' Shelley fire that have gotten evacuated out of Greenview area. And one other update is also let's see, what else was it? Let's see, what else do I got? I believe that's about it.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. Appreciate that. And yeah, I can't listen to a scanner. I get too frustrated not being part of it. So
I do too sometimes. And that was one other thing too. When we had the Bogus fire, I went up and helped as much as I could. I got out and helped my community, help evacuations, told the fire crews they're more than welcome to use my water down here Montague Fire Department came down, Copco Lake came down and used my water system that I have set up right here that Bernie Paul set up years ago when we were going to try to get the Black Mountain Fire Department going. So it was definitely utilized this year for our Buggers Fire.
Great. And Yvonne could you write the Facebook group in the chat, Joseph?
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you. All right, do we have Butte Valley?
Well,
Oh,
for
go
Butte
ahead.
Valley, yes, we're still working with Vestra on signing folks up. And as soon as we get enough homeowners, we'll be putting that out to bid. And we've got a lot of work to do out there, so.
Okay. Copco Lake,
Nothing from them.
Dunsmuir,
Well, Stephen Decatur, the hazard mitigation planner for Dunsmuir, could not be here tonight. The only wildfire related update he has is that they have submitted their Firewise application for the city.
Good. Good.
And Kristen, do you have anything to add about Dunsmuir?
Oh, just in case people don't know. So the what he's doing is making a really huge Firewise community. Since he has, the paid time and capacity to manage that. It is going to be not just the city limits, but the Dunsmuir Fire District boundaries. So it's really exciting, and we are hoping to kind of network and plant the seed to get to the new hazard mitigation planner. I believe her name is Sarah, that just got hired up in Wairika to try to follow in his footsteps and do the same up in Wairika. I know Doris got that same grant to hire a hazard mitigation planner. I don't think they've been able to fill their position yet, but and yeah, just to kind of put it out there in case anyone knows anyone at any of the other city staffs in the Scott Valley, Mount Shasta, that the grant that's an OES grant that Dunsmuir, Wairika, and Doris got to hire. It's a 5-year grant to hire those planners. And it was just the first phase. So there will be subsequent phases, and it'd be really awesome to kind of hopefully rally the city staff of other places in Siskiyou County to get the next phases of those grants to be able to hire the same hazard mitigation planners and do kind of the same large scale Firewise communities. So that's just a little blurb about that.
Thanks, Kristen. All right, Greater Weed.
We're still waiting to hear whether we got the grant to write a CWPP for them. I just talked to CAL FIRE and they said they're still under executive review for that one and for an update to the county CWPP. So that's all I have for them.
Okay. Hammond Ranch.
We went out and went to one of their POA meetings. And Kristen, did one of you all go to their barbecue?
No, I didn't go to their barbecue. I just dropped a bunch of materials off for Marushka, who often comes to these meetings to hand out. So I haven't heard how that went, but I gave her a ton of material to pass out. So
all right,
start. Okay, Happy Camp.
All right. Yeah, I'll take this one since I'm from Happy Camp. Why not?
Why not?
Michael Hentz, McWick. The first thing I should say is our founder, leader, Will Harling, is at UCSF, and he's being treated for a very rare type of cancer that has just recently shown up, and it's a major ordeal he'll be going through for a long time. So my feelings and thoughts are to Will and also to Sky River folks, Scott Valley folks, and the Shelley Fire. I hope this somehow turns out as well as it can. This heat wave, as we were talking about, potential fire behaviors is really scary. On somewhat related note, last Saturday, there was a accidental human fire start just down Elk Creek. And thankfully, we had some fisheries folks who had a water trailer and a Mickwick pump and hose, and they were the first responders. Initial attack, I got a call, initial attack. I think we kept it to less than an acre. The Forest Service certainly showed up. Couldn't have really put that out without them. Had to fall some hazard snags, but that was a very much Saturday afternoon, going swimming, get a phone call, put your greens and yellows and boots and helmet on and hand tools and run to the scene. And thankfully we got it. But this is not a time where any of us should be, or anyone should be incidentally starting any fires or what. Having said that, June 17th through the 19th, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, Mickwick, the Creek Tribe, and partners conducted a 63-acre forested prescribed fire. Morgan Point out of Happy Camp, incredibly successful. We've done this for over a decade. The tools that were brought, the planning, burn planning, the expertise, the staffing was incredible. It was, we burned a lot of fuels. It was definitely not a cool, nice understory burn. However, the fire effects are fantastic. It's incredible how much you can accomplish even in mid-June if you're really doing it skillfully under the exact right parameters. 2 of the nights were night burns. We were burning till 3:30 at night and such, but that was a major success, but it's pushing the comfort level of the community. We had great buy-in, but when you're really lighting fires close to town in mid-June, this is a test case. So I'm very happy. We've been patrolling and monitoring now for the last weeks. We've gone 5 or 6 days now without any heat, any smokes. So we'll continue to patrol, but that Morgan Point prescribed fire was a major endeavor, and very happy to say it was successful. Last week, the Creek Tribe headed up, Mickwick participated, and many, many others, the Klamath Fire Ecology Symposium. Patty was able to attend for a day. Jody was there. That was an amazing event as well. I want to call it the Klamath Fire Ecology and Policy Symposium because it was a lot of policy discussions, especially dealing with, the importance of cultural, historic burning in the area and the importance of co-stewardship and co-management of the tribe on national forests. It's a big discussion. I'm very happy that Kristen is going to help spearhead our 3rd annual Firewise Youth event next Thursday with the Happy Camp Community Center. They have a kids youth camp. We've done it the last 2 years. It's a fantastic thing to do, small steps, just bring up the role of fire and fire safety to youth in hopefully a pleasant way. And usually they get to jump in engines and honk horns and shoot water around as well and have some fun. And of course, we've got the Happy Camp Fire Safe Council crews working full time. We have 3 new hires that are really working out, and I'll leave it there. But I'll tell you, even somebody who believes in fuels reduction and prescribed fire, this is the time of year we all just need to be safe, and wishing you the best in the Scott River. And thank you very much.
I'd like to add that thank you for bringing up Will. I don't know if you know, Mike, that he was part of our board for many years, and we worked with him for a long time through this work in Orleans and on the river, and is devastated to hear about Will. So yeah, all our thoughts are with him.
I ditto that. Yes, we're good friends. We are good friends with Will, and he's done fantastic. Hardly anybody has done the things that he's done. Pretty awesome fella.
Nothing's too big for God.
And Jody, did you have anything to add? Would you like to? Don't want to exclude you.
No, yeah, thank you. I thought maybe I would insert myself here. Maybe I think it's appropriate. I didn't mention before why I'm here, but I have a couple of CWPPs to share. And so I wanted to just give you all just the information if you would like it. I've just posted in the chat. They're public links to our Happy Camp CWPP. So Mickwick is the fiscal sponsor for both the Happy Camp Fire Safe Council, as many of you probably already know, as well as the Orleans Soames Bar Fire Safe Council. So we've been working on our CWPPs where we've actually spoken with Nancy Ogren, who's on the call today. We talked with her before her trip to Africa. Glad you made it back, Nancy. Um, I'm sure it was amazing. So we've talked to Nancy. She was kind enough to meet with us and kind of go through the plan, both plans, and we've just been working really hard. We're trying to get our WUI updated and get our, our communities kind of mapped out and kind of get this kind of, published so that we can have this established kind of area and kind of in the context that we all find ourselves in now, which is much different than it was before when we had these plans published last. So so I didn't know, I don't want to go on and on. I just wanted to put those there and just answer any questions. And the other thing I should add is just that we are trying to get on the Board of Supervisor in Siskiyou County on their agenda for August 13th. So we are sending these to them next week. I think it's the 16th. I think it's Tuesday. We are going to be submitting those. And so again, just notifying you all about that. We do have Dale Nova. We didn't put you, Giselle. I hope that that's okay to kind of put you two together and just put his name there on that line. But we have you on the Orleans Soames Bar partner and agency list. It's one of the first documents or first pages, excuse me, in the document. You must have participated and come to a meeting at one point. We kind of used everybody who engaged in any way to kind of fill out our partner and agency page in the CWPP. So I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Jody. I think that's great. And thanks for sharing the documents.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to Horse Creek.
Yeah, this is Glenn. Most of the time in this meeting, we talk about pre-fire prevention. That's kind of, one of the key things that the more we do, the better we are. But, as we all know, fire's got a bunch of different phases, and after the fire, it's a whole set of other things. Well, McKinney Fire had, took its toll, and that community has been working hard in a lot of different ways to try to recover. On the 20th, July 20th, we are very, very pleased and happy to have our grand opening of the Klamath River Community Pavilion. Now, we don't have a building yet. The cost of construction is a little bit prohibitive. If anybody's got a couple $1 million sitting around, we'd love to tell you something we could do with that. But we do now have an official, pavilion and a huge improvement to our community space. This community continues to serve each other on a monthly basis. There are always, giveaways of some kind in that dirt lot, and the fact that it's kind of becoming a little bit civilized is going to be appreciated by everybody. The 20th could be a really big party, which is going to be a lot of fun, and pretty much everybody's invited. To thank all the different organizations that have helped over the last couple of years, and to just sort of kind of feel the positive of recovering after a devastating fire. With that, I want to also do a shout out to the Red Cross and United Way. They showed up about 9 months ago with a pretty sizable grant to help the individuals of the McKinney Fire. It was a little, it's later than people would have liked, but it's a pretty sizable amount of money. And they've already been dealing with a number of individuals and helping them specifically on their property. So thank you, United Way and Red Cross, for showing up and caring for McKinney Fire people. The other thing that I think a lot of people are aware of is when fire comes back, if you've experienced fire, it can trigger PTSD. It can trigger a lot of emotional issues. We are hosting our second Survivor to Survivor meeting. It's specifically, it's targeted for, of course, McKinney Fire participants, but anybody is happy to come. It's kind of like an AA meeting for fire survivors. You just want to come and share and talk and not feel crazy. And we're going to take advantage of the pavilion. So that's on the 27th at 11 o'clock. is we'll have a survivor to survivor session there. So some good things happening with post-fire community out here in First Creek, Klamath River.
Hey, Glenn, what time was the pavilion dedication?
4 o'clock. And we also want to thank NVCSS for sponsoring the food. So there's going to be a big old Klamath River barbecue after the ceremony.
Great. That'd be great. I hope I'm able to go. Thank you. Okay, Juniper Flat.
They couldn't be here tonight, but as you know, they just finished up a project and they're hoping for a grant to be approved by CAL FIRE for their second phase of fuel reduction out there.
And anything for Klamath River? There we are. We had Klamath River on.
That's Yvonne.
Here I am.
She is. There she is.
Hi. Yes, let me get my notes up because I have quite a few points here. Just backing up Glenn on what he said about rebuilding the community. That's what we're doing here in Klamath River. I've been attending the LTRG meetings on a regular, as much as I can on a regular basis. And that has given me contacts to certain resources. For example, the Shasta Valley RCD's McKinney Fire Fuels Reduction Grant Project. I don't know if I have the name of that exactly right, but Joshua Rivera was the contact, and I made several introductions to people who could utilize and possibly qualify for that program. And so I'm very interested in keeping tabs on that. The other thing that we have been doing is whenever there's some kind of a neighbor to neighbor barbecue or opportunity to network with neighbors here in Klamath River, I have been alerting them about watch duty, getting the alerts for their evacuation zone. Do they have their go bags? Things like that. And also, are they ready? Have they done just even the simplest things of clearing their gutters and doing any kind of hand pruning, whatever they can to be ready in case of a fire. We have had fire here, as you know, and so the residents who did not get burnt on their property, I just keep maintaining the level of awareness. And this is all directed that soon I can gather enough people. What I'd like to do is gather enough people to start getting certified as a FireWise community. And so just putting that idea out there, I think it's a long-term goal. But I do have people here in Klamath River that privately, not through grant money or anything, just through their own work on their own property, have done fuels reduction. And so as long as we can get reliable information and make the process smooth, I believe that we can do it. So I really appreciate Josh from CORE being available and a good source of information. I think you're right about the CWDG grant too. Also, it's going to be very important for them if they want to sign up. And that was why I asked those questions, to make referrals again, to have people be able to get their homes evaluated. And as a small community, as you know, the word of mouth from neighbor to neighbor builds a lot of trust. That the information they are giving out or the people they're inviting on their private land are trustworthy, or, do what they say they're going to do. So thank you for all the information about that. There is another thing, let's see, the local nonprofit that I also work with as a volunteer, Free the Need, is doing their annual back to school giveaway. And we stuff about 550 backpacks with information, from the Fire Safe Council Defensible Space. This year, I'm not sure what brochures we have, but we will be putting some kind of brochures in those backpacks again this year. And that event is happening on August 3rd. So I'm even collecting and looking to see what else we can put in that's informing our youth about fuels reduction, fire, being prepared, and anything like that.
Yeah, I'll connect with you because we
Great.
have a bunch of Ready Raccoon kid specific handouts that are like checklists, you know, meant for kids to go take home and go through preparedness checklists for with their family. So that would be a really good one to put in there. And we also have, you know, can connect you with you know, getting there's tons of free pamphlets that you can order, maybe not in that time frame. So we could, you know, put in a new order to replenish our stocks and get you a bunch of those when we see you when Josh sees you on the 20th. But I also wanted to ask, you know, we'd have to get clearance to add this to our outreach calendar, but you know, there's not many opportunities for us to get outreach booth in specifically, especially Klamath River. So, you know, if we got clearance for that, would that be something that would be helpful for you and spreading the word about Firewise and all of everything that we put out there? I mean, I'm totally happy and willing to come to the pavilion with the Fire Safe Council outreach booth if that's something you think would be helpful for your community and it's cleared by our board. So just putting that out there. It's a possibility.
Glenn, I'll defer to you on that.
Yeah, I can talk to the Klamath River Community Hall board, but I, you know, almost certainly they would say yes. They would be more than happy to take advantage of this opportunity to share information with community members. So I think they'd love to have it. I'll confirm for you, but you know, if you guys can do that, then absolutely let's do it.
Yeah, it seems like a rare opportunity we should definitely not pass up.
And if you look at chat right now, Annie said there's a pillowcase program from Red Cross that would be great. Basically, the child decides beforehand what would be important to take, and it has to fit in their pillowcase.
Oh, wonderful.
So,
oh, yes.
Yeah,
wonderful.
That's cool. And I can't speak for the board. Well, I can speak for the board, but I can't vote for the board and say that I think that, yes, Kristen, I think we would all approve that you go down and add that to the outreach.
Yeah, I figured because we really need to take opportunities. We want to support that effort for sure. So yeah, we'll go through the official formalities, but yeah. And then also Yvonne, there's Pedro, if you could even Josh I believe who got these packets for our outreach booth, but Pedro the Penguin that's a Red Cross booth packet pamphlet. There's a couple different ones that are for kids that I think tie in with that pillowcase program, but Yvonne, I'll get you Joe Bergstrom's I'll send an email to both of you guys to connect you with the Red Cross because they definitely have materials that they could maybe get to you in that time frame.
Wonderful.
And then yeah, is it Josh? Is that where you got is the Cal OES office in Wairika is where you got all the Pedro the Penguin kids brochures?
That's correct. Owen Davis is the point of contact, and Yvonne, I'll connect with you and Kristen as well to see what numbers you need.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, and I have one last thing, which I mention sometimes when I'm on this meeting, is the success story of a local young man who grew up here in the Klamath River area. He is on his first year of being on the Klamath Hot Shots, and he is working on the Shelley fire as we speak.
Yep, it's
And
always great to get locals.
Yes, he grew up doing fuels reduction, volunteering and learning about projects through the Klamath River Fire Safe Council. So
Neat.
good work,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Donna.
that's my report.
That's great news. And Denise says he's doing a great job. All right, we'll move on then to Lake Shastina.
We're working on a vegetation treatment plan that we were funded for by CAL FIRE, 6,000 acres approximately. Carolyn and the Shasta Valley RCD met with us in Lake Shastina this last week to work on Shasta Valley RCD will be the lead agency on this plan. So we're working together to make that all come together seamlessly. Anyway, we're moving forward and we're looking forward to some good work that's going to be happening there.
Great, thanks Giselle. Lower Scott River, McLeod, Mount Shasta.
Well, yeah, Brian already told you that the old stage project, we're going to be extending it from 300 feet to 600 feet to either side of the road. We're working on trying to get more landowners, participants, and we're hoping to get that wrapped up and moving along, then wrapped up real soon. And then we had a Mount Shasta Area Fire Safe Council meeting, and Dale, who is the coordinator for that. He's right here. He'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, we're moving right along with the community, the Firewise Communities segment for Shasta Avenue between Ski Bowl Avenue and Oak Ridge Avenue. We've got all but 2 properties completed, and it's only going to take about 1 more day or less for each of those to be done and ready for inspection by Mount Shasta Fire. That's the high points of that. And then I'd like to talk about HR 3108 when we get to the forum. That is the pay parity for federal firefighters.
Okay, that's all we have for that. Are we frozen?
No, you're there.
Okay.
Okay, then we have Orleans, Soames Bar, Quartz Valley, they're evacuated. I don't think they're on tonight. Salmon River, Syad, and Wairika. I think I saw George come on.
Hey, sorry I was late.
Okay, George, I see you.
I had to be here. So, yeah, just we're working through the Outson Road project, which is west of Walmart and up in the foothills and around Highway 3, going through the CEQA process. And I know everybody would like to be having that project in the bag for this summer, but processes just don't work that fast. We'd like it to, but we're making progress. We had a nice meeting with Joshua Bean, a couple of us from the Fire Safe Council, and very encouraged about the interaction with him and the Corps and the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County, looking to get some clarity for our council areas that don't have a project going right now, and seeing how we can interact with you on your grant and be able to bring some of that funding into the Wairika area. So yeah, as that moves along, we really want to be active in finding out what is and what isn't going to be available for our area. You know, we have an active and completed and signed off CWPP that's just a couple years old. So looking forward to using that document to plan to see where we can partner with you and help you use up your funding. Always glad to be able to help you with that. And then, but in coordination, and then, you know, joint planning and yeah, just see how we can all work together, you know, as one unit and one voice. And we're also working with a group, gathering a group together about how we can help the county to look at our ordinances and how we can protect the community of Wairika itself from fuels on properties that are basically under the county's jurisdiction, I guess, as far as ingress and egress routes and open fields and things where I don't think we currently have. We have super old ordinances that need to be updated to the new reality of, pretty drought, the droughts of California, and how we've gone through many years of wet years with when ordinances were made and fire agencies were created. And now in this new reality, we're looking at what do we have to do in our communities and in our homes to be kind of help be responsible for our neighbors too. What we do on our property affects, and the work we get done affects our neighbors and their survival and their property and really insurance in general, how we can work together. There's plenty of programs and funding out there. So we're looking forward to seeing how we can help the county become a more active partner in the future. So just some of our personal goals to see. The city is very active now. We've been able to engage the city, and they're a great partner now. And now we're looking to expand the role of the county around the city, and how that works. That WUI work basically can be expanded to other parts of the county. That through ordinances if we have to, but education and grant funding and ordinances when needed, I guess. Anyway, that's it from Wairika Fire Safe Council.
Thank you, George. Yeah, and I'd like that too, especially with the county. We'd work more with them on doing more projects and get involvement directly with them. That would be great. Okay, now I have others present. Is there anybody I missed, walked over, somebody else who wanted to add anything tonight? Anything? Jay, do you want to talk? I love putting Jay on the spot.
You're a very funny woman, Jamie
I
Karn.
am. Thank you.
The one thing I would say is, and I have to say this, is that, when the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County was started over 20 years ago, and all of the other fire safe councils throughout the county, it was, I think the dream that we had in mind, and I know you did, Jamie, 20 years ago when you stepped up to do this, that we'd be where we are today. And I guess good things come to those who wait. And I just hope that we can be proactive enough over the next several years with all the grant monies that are available. But I'm pretty stunned by the amount of participation. So my hat is off to you, Jamie, and my hat's off to Giselle. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Jay. You were an integral part of starting it, that's for sure. I still remember our first meeting. Jennifer, you had your hand up. I don't want to exclude anybody.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have one go back that I forgot to mention. We do have that CWPP amendment that we want to get going. It kind of dropped off my to-do list, but I'm picking it back up. I think we still needed to reach out to the new CAL FIRE chief to give him a heads up about it. Otherwise, my plan was to swap out the map from the last amendment we did last year. There was like an itty bitty little portion over in the lava fire area that got missed inadvertently last year when we did the CWPP amendment. So that's going to be critical for us just for maintaining our funding for that lava restoration area. So anyhow, I have it back on my to-do list. So I'm going to try to get that moving again.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Anybody else before we move into action items and next meeting?
How about open forum?
Oh yeah, open
Dale-
forum. Anything
Dale has
else
something.
we missed?
Go ahead, Dale.
Yes, at the Mount Shasta Area Fire Safe Council meeting last month, I spoke about the pay parity issue that's been hung up in Congress for more than a few years and has been operating rather grassroots coalition. It used to be known as the Tim Hart Wildland Firefighter Classification and Pay Parity Act, among other names. Meanwhile, it's now known as HR 3108. It's going to come to a vote real soon, and it needs a lot of citizen support. As many of you know, there is not pay parity for firefighters here in California. If we would compare a fire captain with CAL FIRE and his pay, base pay, to a Forest Service district ranger who's directly or indirectly has supervision over 150 to 200 people, the CAL FIRE captain, who's usually only supervising 6 to 8 people, is getting more pay than a Forest Service district ranger. That's how poor it is. Presently, we have in California, our firefighter ranks hemorrhaging. People are leaving in droves and have left in droves to go to work for CAL FIRE or other private sector work. In fact, 2 of my 3 sons have left Forest Service and they're out in other endeavors after all that years and years of training besides. Meanwhile, it's more than just pay. What would be reasonable and comparable to CAL FIRE, as an example, CAL FIRE being the most highly paid wildland firefighting agency in the world, and federal firefighters doing the same work. Federal firefighters are hopeful that they could get paid like CAL FIRE for rest and recuperation leave following wildfire deployment. Also, 7 days of mental health leave per year. Next, creating a database to track chronic diseases caused on the job exposure to environmental toxins, particularly lung diseases. And I'll give it to you straight. My dad died in my arms of congestive heart failure after 31 years as a wildland firefighter working for CAL FIRE. Back in the days when they didn't have that kind of rest or tracking of exposures. So now there's only partial funding of some of the elements and only temporary pay raises for our federal firefighters. Nothing has been permanent. It's been hung up, and our own elected official, Doug LaMotha, has dug his heels in and is not moving off until what he says the Forest Service needs to crank out more timber sales to make him happy, so he would support this, which is apples and oranges, in my opinion. Timber sales versus firefighting is 2 different animals. So I want to encourage all of you to realize this gross disservice to our federal firefighters. Not only that, but the fact that most federal firefighters in California are running at 2/3 or 3/4 of their staffed levels. The Los Padres National Forest is one example. Last I heard is operating at 2/3 of their staffing level because they can't get any firefighters take that low pay and come to work. So again, that HR 3108, a simple letter supporting it, is so very important. And all of us citizens have a responsibility to support our firefighters. And we shouldn't be waiting until the fire's burning at our back doors to do it. So pass that on, please.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much, Dale. HR 3108. Yeah, I know I have some friends who are very involved in trying to get this passed. So doing a lot of hard work.
Yvonne has a question in the chat about where do they get information on the bill and how do they support it? Where do we send letters, that kind of thing?
The
Yvonne wants to
grassroots.
know, where do you send letters and how do you get information?
To your elected officials. Our congressman, again, is Doug LaMotha. We have 2 U.S. senators representing California. I wish I could say they're responsive. I've written them 3 times. I haven't even got one of their staff members to respond. But by all means, press on. And at the final on these important letters, I sent those letters that I was most concerned about, these 2 particular issues unrelated to the HR 3108, to Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. And, you know, if we can't get our elected officials who are working for us to be responsive, just go right over their heads. Go to Mike Johnson. That's what he gets paid
To learn more
for.
about the bill, because she just looked that
All
up.
right, so she can look that up online, but also the Grassroots Foundation, Wildland Firefighter Foundation is a good place to go. They're the ones who are leading the charge on this.
Yes, yes.
I just wanted to ditto on that, Dale, and pass along on this information. I so agree with you, Dale and Giselle, on this. For instance, on a real scenario on what you just talked about, Dale, 2 days ago on the scanner, all the Siskiyou County volunteers in the whole entire county had to ship every volunteer in our county over to the Shelley fire because of that scenario you just explained to us, with not having the fire crews that fully staffed, that they responded everybody for that. So I applaud you to this scenario big time.
So kudos to them.
I will put it in the chat for the Grassroots, their address.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie, I got it in the chat if you like.
Oh, can you put it in for me? Oh, thanks. Josh is quicker than I am. All right. All right, so I think anything else on the open forum? If not, then we have any action items? I don't know of any, Giselle, that we had.
Kristen, are you taking notes there?
Yep.
Good. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying we'll connect the dots on adding that Klamath River Pavilion celebration to our outreach event calendar, and that we will be posting the matrix results of the matrix for the CWDG in the next week, and that we are hoping to get guest speakers from the Ashland Fire District for our next month's meeting in August to talk about Firewise communities and utilizing the Fire Adapted Community Network's neighborhood ambassador toolkit in conjunction with Firewise communities. So that's kind of in the pipeline for next month. Should be a really great discussion. That sounds like a lot of people were gaining a lot of momentum and interest and getting those 7 exposures out there, folks, so that people start getting on board and taking action. So I think that'll be good timing. And I think that was everything. Oh, I guess the only other thing is just to give people a heads up that we are still trying to get a North County community wildfire preparedness event planned for post-fire season, late October, possibly early November. So just hope folks know that's in the works as well.
Thank you, Kristen.
Just a quick question about what about, I was late coming in. Did you talk about the fair booth already? Is that part of an action item that you're going to be at the fair and have a booth and things like that?
Yeah, we are doing our own booth this year at the Golden Fair instead of sharing space with our partners, CAL FIRE and Forest Service at the gazebo. We will be very, very close to the gazebo, but we are having our own booth. So if you wanted to join us on any of the days, George, you're always welcome. We'll have our tent and core and Fire Safe Council folks will be rotating in staffing that booth all 4 days.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kristen. And I believe then our next meeting is on August 14th, and hopefully we won't be nobody will have a fire outside their window when we meet next time.
How's it going outside your window, Jamie?
Yeah, the color's changing. It's getting darker, so we've got about 2 more hours before usually it calms down. So I don't like the look of the colors getting a little bit darker, but we'll see. At least there's not winds that I can see out my window right now. All right, everybody, thank you for attending, and hopefully then you won't have any fires in your backyard. So let's
Stay safe, everybody, and stay cool.
Thank you all.
And
Thanks,
Kristen,
Jamie. Be
Spread the
safe.
good news.
Thanks,
just
Julie.
for the Fire Safe Council team, Kristen, be sure and capture the chat, and Greg, I'll send you the link as soon as I get it.